Ohio. And Nasiriyah, the city in Iraq, the capital of the Governorate of D penalties. It is located in 370 km to the southeast from Baghdad on the riverbank Euphrates. The population of the city makes 560,200 people. Assessment of 2003. It is by the fourth largest city of Iraq after Baghdad, Basra and Mosul. Near the city ruins of the ancient Sumer cities of Ur and Lar Salai. And Nasiriyah is regional shopping center. Neighboring lands are used for the irrigated agriculture. Dates, cotton, rice and grain crops are grown up. The livestock production in various crafts is widespread. The city is founded in 1872 by the Sheikh Nasser Saddam from the breeding union Al-Muntafiq. In the years of World War I, as a result of battle in which 533 British and at least as much the Turk died, and Nasiriyah was captured by Great Britain at the Ottoman Empire. During invasion into Iraq in 2003, Nasiriyah had one of the first large battles. Now near the city there is the American military air base of Ali. And Nasiriyah was founded in 1872 Nasser as-Saddam, the Sheikh of breeding Confederation Muntafiq. The same year the city became the administrative center of a Sandak region of Muntafiq. At the time of Nasiriyah's basis, domination of Muntafiq clan conceded in the southern Iraq to Ottoman centralization more and more. Nevertheless, Nasir Pasha was appointed Ottomans as the head of the Vilayet province and received big grounds around Nasiriyah. His son, Saddam Pasha, became Mutasarrif tax collector. Nasiriyah, and by 1908 actually ruled the southern Iraq on behalf of Ottomans. At the beginning of the 20th century, Nasiriyah had the population approximately in 10,000 people. Most of its inhabitants were Shiite Arabs, about 1,000 more inhabitants were Sunni Arabs, 300 Persians, 200 Ethiopians, 150 Jews, 50 Turkmens, 50 Kurds and 20 radical Christians. The city was the large center of trade of Ottoman Iraq, importing leather, grain and melted butter. The city had about 600 well-built stone houses, but the majority of buildings and houses were built of not burned brick. In Nasiriyah about 350 shops and 5 khans, hotels, worked. In the neighborhood of the city, date palm trees grew much. The city wasn't protected by a wall, as well as other large administrative centers. In addition to administrative functions, it served as an outpost of the government in the region. During World War I, British occupied the city in July 1915. About 400 British and Indian soldiers and up to 2,000 Turks were killed in fight for Nasiriyah on July 24, 1915. In 1920, Nasiriyah totaled 6,523 inhabitants. The population was ethnically various: 72.7% of inhabitants, 8% Jews, 9.7% Mandaeans, 4.6% Persians, 3% of Alurama and Christians were Muslim Arabs. In 1930, in Nasiriyah, the first cell of the Communist Party of Iraq was based. Fuad al-Rakabi, the founder of Iraq Party of the Ba'ath in 1950, was a native of the city. At the time, the Ba'ath consisted generally of natives of Nasiriyah, namely relatives of Rakabi.
during the war in the Persian Gulf in 1991, and Nasiriyah is marked out distant point to which forces of the coalition got into Iraq, with the USA 82 Airborne Divisions and the elements of an airborne division of the 101st going along the main road outside the city.
In March 1991, after withdrawal of American troops at the end of war, the population of Shiites of al-Nasiriyah participated in a revolt of the minding government of the President of Iraq Saddam Hussein. The revolt was cruelly depressed the Iraqi army and Republican Guard, with the numerous victims among civilians. Many of al-Nasiriyah's inhabitants were killed with the Iraqi government forces. Before War of 2003, Nasiriyah was the house for one of the largest religious communities of Iraq, Mandaeans. In March 2003, Nasiriyah was the place of one of the first large battles of invasion into Iraq.
Philip Mitchell from the International Institute of Strategic Researches so described strategic importance of the city in an interview to the Guardian newspaper.
Nasiriyah is the administrative and military headquarters of the district of Madzad. It is an important strategic point on Euphrates. For all these reasons, Nasiriyah is well protected that can slow down invasion for some time.
Philip Mitchell.
On March 23, forces of invasion of the USA were ambushed near the city. 11 Marines were killed. Privates Jessica Lynch and Shoshana Johnson were captured by the Iraqi troops.
Fight at Nasiriyah between the Iraqi forces and the 2nd Forwarding Crew of Marines of the USA. With a call sign Target Group Tarawa.
Lasted approximately from March 23 to March 29. During Battle of 18 Marines were killed and more than 150 were wounded, including from friendly fire of planes of the Air Force A-10. At the same time, the Iraqi resistance was suppressed. The city remained rather quiet after fall of the regime of Saddam Hussein. In November 2003, as a result of the attack of the mine truck, 19 Italian soldiers and 11 civil died. In April 2004, in the city, collisions with occupational forces were noted.
Also far.
Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories.
All of good mood and good luck.